All right, Adventure Plans, now that we got the cabin built up, it's time to add some lights and some wiring and some power. So we have a Victron Energy MPPT 7515. I didn't go with the Bluetooth model because I wanted to save money, and it's a really basic system. I got this A-Marine, which seems decent, switch set with 5-amp circuit breakers. My fridge pulls like 4 amps at a load. It might peak a little higher than that starting. So let's see if one 5-amp circuit will handle it. If not, we'll have to do something different there. I got that for that. I 3D printed this way cool guy electronics thing here that this bad boy is going to bolt on to the bottom of. And this is just out of some cheap PLA that I had right here. I'll do a nicer piece of PEG in white when I'm done with it, but I already realized I forgot an out hole for the wires. Yeah, I'm sure I'll make other changes. Oh, I thought this was a hard corner meet up here. It's not, it's a radius. So yeah, I got that. I'm gonna solder all this up. I did this fan, which was the mate to the fan I'll show you guys in a minute, that does my vent. I'll show you at some point in this video, vent fan out of a porthole. So it's just a computer fan, 0.6 of an amp startup. This is a little small rig, ball gimbal thing, a couple of nut zerts and some wiring. I need to solder this and its switch up. I got some wiring. I'm running like 5 feet from my battery to my power hub area. 10 gauge would have been fine, but that's like 4% drop. This is 8 gauge, and it should be give me 1% drop. So that'll be less voltage drop, the more better. And it's 10 copper aluminum wire, and then this is the rest. This is just some 14 gauge that I'm going to be running the rest of the house and everything with. Shipping tools. This I'm going to probably put up in here. Originally I was going to put it the battery, but I'll probably put here and do some sort of block for it so I can externally charge my battery without getting into it. For instance, is like camping this weekend where I'm not going to be running solar, but I'm going to be out there for a couple of days and I want to recharge and we'll have power. So yeah, I'll just recharge with that. And that's what this power brick's for. I'm going to cut the end of this off and solder this bad boy on there. Then that way I could plug everything up. So let's fire the soldering up and get after it. All right, let's get after this. My cable here. I got my strippers, my crimpers, my little fire ripper, some terminal-y things, some booty things, some bolt the terminals down things. The funny thing was I was just had to pause Billy Joel's "I Didn't Start the Fire." So let's hope we don't go there. So let's wire some of this stuff up. Go gadget tripod. Look at that, it's all glued in now. A little strappity McStrap. I gotta route this thing through here. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wombat. Alright, get about enough up in here so I can get started. Go this way. Bamski. Alright. And I'm going to hook these up. I'm going to come up to the side here, my groundy on positive, and start running this back. And this stuff's heavy duty enough. I'm going to just kind of get it into the corner, and I think that'll be fine for running next to the bed. So, yeah, I think this will work out. Alright, tally-ho. Now, I don't want you guys to think I'm delusional, and I don't want you to be delusional either, but sailing is not always just sunsets and Mai Tais in nice places. Sometimes it's just working on boats and places with train yards in the background. But the colors of that sunset are pretty wicked. But yeah, this is life. But I'm jamming out to music and I'm enjoying myself. It's really not that bad. It's kind of fun, but you know, most people are inside watching movies and YouTubes and cuddling up with their significant other, and this is actually how it gets done, is just being out here and doing it. And I just want to let you guys know, when you see those big old gaps and nothing gets done, it's because the lighting's crap, it's the middle of the night, I'm just rocking out. So yeah, this is how we make progress. I got my wiring kind of up to here. I'm working on my main trunk wiring here. I got my USB plugs in there. Power, I'm probably going to add a push button to check power, so this isn't just on all the time. It's not like it'll take a lot of power, which is kind of annoying. I don't like light shining at me. I'm probably going to end up eliminating either these lights or these lights, but I also like the redundancy of it, so I don't know about that yet. But yeah, and the point of these poking down is, one, so the cables aren't naturally strained right when they come out. If I just put them in the face, as soon as the cable comes out to my cell phone or whatever, it's bent right there. So this way the cable lays out nice and even. And then the other point of pointing the plugs down is debris, moisture, any of that's not going to hang out in them. It's going to naturally fall out. I'm actually to the point where I might actually just cut this clip off right here, just so I don't have to worry about it. I'll probably just leave this snappity bop on there. But yeah, this is how we do it. So a lot of this is the planning, is a lot of the work, not even just the doing. And so I've kind of drew out roughly where things are going to go in the direction. And so I got an idea of what circuits are where. These are my circuits here. I'm actually going to put my autopilot out on this end and my bilge on this end, because those are kind of two critical ones that I want to be able to find in a hurry and click back on. I might even move my cabin light to just in from one of these two, just for that reason. So that way I can flip that on right away, and if something happens to my autopilot, I can get that back running. If it cuts out or whatever, because the 5 amp circuit breaker might be borderline. Again, I'll have to change that. And I'm trying not to make that mission critical until I figure it out. Autopilot's a different story, but I listed out my circuits here, what'll be on every one of them, and then my little map. And one of the things that was kind of hanging me up is I knew that I got my main power running up here, my fan, all my wiring was this was going to be my junction area, and I was going to run my evacuating exhaust fan, which I don't know if you guys saw. This is a porthole that was originally here, this bad boy, and I wanted to do something with it, so I added this fan just to pull air out, so that way I could have air in, come through the vent, and even have it cracked and still get air in, and like bad weather. It's got the little shield, so hopefully under normal rain it's enough of a shield, or any rain that falls here is going to kind of pool and hopefully run back out. Yeah, so that's there. I'm going to put one of these bags here under it, and this little loop is for my VHF to kind of tether on, so that way it has a spot, you know, that's where it'll live. Same thing with that, you guys already saw this fan, but I wanted I didn't know how to get power from here to that. Runs my bow and stern light, and it goes up to my compass, but maybe because it's daylight out, or maybe the bulb in the compass is dead, it don't light up. Or it's also those stupid blue Scotty locks. I hate those things with a passion. Do not ever use those things when you go to wire something. You will create the biggest headache for yourself down the road. They cut the wire that you're into in half, and so you just bump the impedance and the resistance and all that way up, and they're just like guillotining the wire, so it's just sitting there vibrating and shaking between these two little forks. It just, I have such a, yeah, that's right up there with people who just cut zip ties off all randomly, so it's a medieval torture device. Just don't do that. But I didn't know how I was going to get the wire from there over to here, and like I said that in my first video, this is going to drip down here. I didn't want any drip to wires coming here. This is going to come down through here. I need to cut a notch kind of next here to get the wiring through here. Some way to get it down here. I've got to kind of figure that out right now. And then it's going to come back under this ledge here, and then to my bilge pump, which is going to sit behind here, my refrigerator here, obviously, the fan we were just talking about up there, and then I'm going to bring the wire for all that running lights down under here. And there's a wire, if you can see, there's a hole back there. I'm assuming this had a bilge pump or something else, or a bilge pump, a autopilot at some point or whatever in it, but I'm going to use that same hole to hook my autopilot to. So I'm going to run the wire for the autopilot right down this side of here, bring it down here, and I'm just going to drop all of these down right here. Then that way everything's kind of out of a high traction damage area. All the wires kind of tucked up out of the way, so it's safe. I don't have no chafing issues, or that tis be the plan. So anyways, I'm gonna get to pondering this, but yeah, like I was kind of going with all this, is like you got to do your best to kind of plan it out, map it out, know what you need to try to accomplish, and then you just got to kind of get after it. And then when you get stuck on some part, work on some other part, figure that part out, and then go back to that. And like I said, I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do here, but probably within the next 3-4 minutes length of this video and 2 hours real life, just be honest, I'll have my wires through here. I just got to figure out how to do it. And that's how you got to approach problems too. Don't let the whole project overwhelm you, because like I was saying in the other video, you don't have all the skills to start with. And even if you have the skills, you don't have the what do you call it? The whole plan, because this is all kind of custom. So just figure out the chunks especially like when you're troubleshooting a problem, whatever else, a lot of problems in life. Take care of the chunks and then worry about the rest as you get to it, because then the rest is at least whittled away. Sorry guys, we got to get after it. It's getting warm. All right, so I made my connection to, you can see it up here for my wiring to my running lights and everything. And I decided, I got these little self-stick-em things from the Amazon company, the Muddy Water Company, and I decided I'll just try these things out. Slide them on, zip tie them on. It's a narrow space up in here, so I gotta get it kind of close. And actually, I don't want that one right there. Maybe we'll look right there. Pull that down tight. And that's what I was talking about. Oh, done lost them in the grabbing the camera. What'd I do with them? My side cutters. Side cutters in the trash bucket. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, about cutting these off flush with the side cutter. And then that way, if you're ever reaching around or doing something, it's not a little miniature medieval torture device. I'm trying to line this up so it has no twisties. No twisties for you. And don't worry about, people say, working on a boat, sanding's better than a gym class. Yeah, you don't have to take yoga classes either. I call this wiring V-birth. Let's see if I can hold a yoga pose while I do this. Wiring the forward something or other, whatever this is up here. Ooh, tape. Where's that tape from? I bet that tape held the old wiring in. That and the mold could go in the trash bucket. So, yep, I'm going to just trace this thing right on down the line here. And try to get this boat wired up before it gets too hot out here. So it occurred to me as I'm running wiring down here, fan wiring, running light wiring, the bilge pump's going to hide somewhere back in here. Like this, maybe like this, I don't know, probably like that. But bilge pump's at the level I'm running on my wiring. I hope I never plan on using a bilge pump, because it's not going to do my wiring no good. But there shouldn't be any interruptions under here. Hopefully I don't have any problems. Hopefully I never take any water in here. But yeah, I want to have the bilge pump. I don't even know where I'm going to run the through hole for it. Preliminary, I'm just going to wrap the hose up right here and have it on a switch and have it ready to go. And then if I do get swamped or something happens, I could get the hose out here. I got to figure out something. Maybe have some sort of clip arrangement so I could flip it out, clip it on this well, But I also want to have some sort of like lower washboard that I could put in here. So maybe I'll do a lower washboard and I'll do the through hole for that or something for the bilge pump. I don't know. I'm not there yet, but I'm at least going to wire it and get it in. The other thing I'm doing as I'm bringing this forward is I'm labeling all my wiring. This is just a long end for right now. But when it gets shorter up in here, I got like my mast light, the load. I think this is dome light. Yeah. So I'm just trying to wire it so I can identify what I got going on later on. So when I'm like, troubleshooting or redoing or whatever, I know what's what, where. All right, now the fun part. Getting the wire up there for the autopilot. Yippity skippity. All right, got my wire all prepped up here. Some zipping my tires, all cleaned off. I think I got right about enough to make it to right here. No time like the present. Well, let's dive in. I don't have a canary, so I hope this goes all right. I probably could have went up there and opened that hatch for a little more air and everything. We just gotta get it done. Like old Mr. Micro said, safety third. Dun-dun. I've never been this far in the boat yet. I know a lot of people take this styrofoam bit out right here and create a little bit of space. I don't think that creates a whole lot of extra space. Previous owner foamed all this in. Yeah, it's getting hot in here in a hurry. So let's see if we can't just get this done. I want enough to stick through here. Peel this little peely off. I want to make sure I have plenty, so I'm going to go right there. And this one. Oh yeah, definitely. You guys go to do this. Stick a little fan in that vent hole, because this is quickly becoming a toasty little oven. I don't sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. There, that's better lighting for you. Works for me, right? Maybe I should be sticking this to the top. Oh well. Hopefully that keeps it out of whatever. At least maybe the theory could be that if something hits it here, it pushes it on better versus tries to rip it off. I don't know. You guys do what you want. You could have stuck it to the duct. Maybe you'd have rewired it all completely different than me. But, oh yeah, noticeably different. Bit of airflow. Just between right here. Oh, look at this. That's my hole number. That's kind of cool. Look at right there. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, back myself out of here. The fresher, cleaner, moving air. There we go. Wire back to the autopilot. Get a fan on me here. It's hot. Hot. Alright guys, I haven't trained Shackle yet to hold the camera, so you gotta put up with me moving it around all the time. And just as an old thing from when I did plumbing, it's just good practice. Always do labeling facing out. One, it's an easy way to tell that you're all sticking the zip ties on nice and even. And two, if it's something they're actually going to have inspected, then yeah, it looks that much more professional. So yeah, I'm going to run this up into this channel like I did the other one, all the way up into here, and cross it over and bring it down with those pairs. I think that should be pretty slick. Pretty slick indeed. Try to start sneaking this one over to get it out of the way. And I really need to get on my autopilot. It's a DUI naughty pilot that I've been working on. I got all the electronics done, and I actually stopped doing that before I bought this boat. And with the intent, once I buy the boat and decide how I want to do it, I'll measure up and get a ram and do the rest of it. So now I just gotta get around. Maybe one of these nights I'll measure the ram. So when I get back from this camping trip this weekend, I'll be able to order the thing. So guys, anyways, tally ho. Alright, so I got the bilge pump in place, fridge wiring, everything back, autopilot, all Bamski, all dang along over here. So what I decided to do here was I'm going to leave all this intact. I'm not going to notch this. I'm actually just going to notch this into this stop. So I'm going to come in, you know, 3/16 of an inch, maybe even a 1/4 inch from here, and then just come straight out, you know, cut that off. I'm gonna take the board out to do that, run this up. But now it's time. I just man, look at that. I am 18 inches being short of not needing to extend those. That sucks. Oh well. But yeah, besides that, I got everything up here. I decided I'm going to run my charge port in through the PV input for the photovoltaic solar cell that's supposed to be here, but we're not hooking that up today. Not for this trip. But yeah, that's how I'll charge it, at least jump start it. And then what I decided to do, I think, for long term, I'm actually, whatever plug I buy back from my autopilot, I'm going to buy 2 of the autopilot sides of it and 1 bulkhead fitting here, and then I'm going to take on my charger, do the same thing as the autopilot, and then just turn my autopilot circuit on and then backfeed the autopilot circuit when I want to charge the boat, and then that way I don't have to do any through holes. Everything kind of be shut down, sealed up, and I don't have to run any weird extension cables anywhere. And yeah, I think that'll work out fine and dandy. Alright, so there we go, kind of all dangly wired up. And I got about this much left of the 8 gauge and a couple of straps about like this of the 14 gauge. 14 gauge was 50 foot and 10 gauge for the, or 10 foot for the 8 gauge. But yeah, I got it all wham bam in there. We gotta literally make the last couple of connections here. And yeah, see if she lets sparks out. Hope not. Alright, check it out. Bada bing. Bada boom. We'll save this one. Lights come on, we already checked. This just goes to my mast that's not hooked up. Can't check that. Wait. Bilgy. And accessories. So we have a wonderful exhaust fan. A dandy me and shackle fan. Some dome light. Tells me what my current voltage is. It's dancing around, but it's saying 13 volts. It's a USB edge. And I'm not going to lick my finger and stick it in there to tell you that that's working. This little dandy doodad is saying bulk charging. When I all hooked it up, I had my switches off and I clicked it on. I got little sparks. Heck, take it off, set it right back on. No spark. Leave it off for a few seconds, set it on, spark. I had totally spaced on the fact that I had this charge controller in line right now, and I wasn't just going to these switches. But yeah, this is pretty neat. I have a fan, I have lights, I can charge my phone and chill down some food and beverages, which actually I need to plug in the fridge right now and make sure that I can handle that, because that's going to be my highest single load, I think, next to the autopilot. So yippity skippity. So yeah, we're going to do that. This video is probably already long enough. I want to thank you guys so much for joining in, and I appreciate it. I'm no expert here, I'm just doing what I'm doing. Hope this again inspires you. Get out, go out and do something. And now when you're knowing I'm out doing it in real life and playing around, this is how it ended up working out. So anyways, y'all, till next time, happy sailing, have fun.